You're listening to the Adventurous Reinvention podcast. I'm Allison Boyle, aka She Dreams of Alpine, and this is the show that's dedicated to all the adventurous spirits out there who have either been transformed by the outdoors or are interested in what it looks like to step into a new, adventurous, and courageous kind of identity in their life. It doesn't matter what your background is in the outdoors, what age you're starting at, or where you grew up. If you're curious about the outdoors and using adventure as a way to reinvent yourself, you're in the right place. I'll be sharing all kinds of personal adventure stories, lessons I've learned from the mountains, teaching what I know about the outdoors and leadership, and interviewing some amazing adventurous women all along the way. I've been coaching women on becoming safe, confident, and self-sufficient backpackers and leaders of their own adventurous lives since 2018, and I know exactly what big fears and self-doubts can pop up along the way. I have so much to share with you, so let's dive in. Hello everyone, it's Allison, and before we dive into today's episode, I wanted to just kind of give a quick announcement. So I'm taking a little summer break from the podcast. I've got some very exciting personal adventures planned for the summer and also some really epic client trips that are coming up on the horizon. So this pause is really just to give me and my team a little space to breathe and reset and focus in other areas of our business right now. But I didn't want to leave you hanging with nothing to listen to over the summer. So I am going to be sharing something really special. I'm going to be sharing a behind the scenes audio series from my hike on the John Muir Trail. So my husband Michael and I set out to thru-hike the John Muir Trail back in 2020. So that is a while ago now. We were aiming to finish it in 22 days, but due to some massive wildfires and a full national forest closure, we had to bail early. This is something we definitely didn't expect. So this series, for some reason, we decided to record like a daily podcast back then. This was before I even had the podcast. But this series is going to be showing you a real, raw, behind the scenes audio that we recorded on the trail when we were out there doing the John Muir Trail as we dealt with all the highs, the lows, the relationship dynamics, and also the huge disappointment of getting kicked off the trail early in 2020, and then our eventual comeback in 2021 to finish it. So if you have ever dreamed of hiking the JMT or you just love a good adventure story, you are going to love these sort of like bite-sized episodes that are coming up of our kind of behind the scenes trail diary. This is something that I've never released before. So I really think you're going to enjoy this, and it will kind of like fill that, adventure itch that you might be getting while we're taking a little break from our normal episodes. And this series will run through about mid-August, and then we will be back with fresh episodes on the Adventurous Reinvention podcast. If you're listening to this kind of midway in the series, be sure to go back and listen to previous episodes. But at the end of the day, I hope you enjoy this and that it's a nice little kind of thing to get you excited about your own adventures and maybe even eventually pursuing the John Muir Trail one day. All right, let's dive in. Hello. This is Allison.
And Michael.
Coming to you at, I guess this would technically be day 15? Day 15 if we had been doing this consecutively.
But
it's our day 3 of hopping back on at Bishop Pass.
Right.
And today was a brutal one again in its own way.
Yeah, I mean, I would say today was a good one because it was my funnest day yet, I think.
Yeah, but it was like, it ended up being about 16 total miles, which just by the end of it, it left us feeling really, really tired.
It was the longest mileage we've done.
But it was all downhill mostly.
The whole trip, including last year.
But I think, I don't know, like I'm feeling more beaten up so far this year than last year. And I think it's because we keep doing these like big days back to back to back. Like we haven't had a soft day.
Yeah.
Like we haven't had like just a 9-mile, 2,000-foot gain day.
No. Yeah, and also we ended up with a lot of blisters today, which I wore these same shoes I was wearing last year with probably one blister the whole trip, and it was towards the end, and it probably had to do with sand in my shoe. But this year, it's day 3, and I've already gotten 3 blisters. But I think the downhill is, you were more susceptible to them in the downhill, because I think like your feet are just kind of banging up against the walls of your shoes.
Maybe living in Puerto Rico for 6 months has made our feet really soft and
We've
baby soft.
Exfoliated with sand.
And now they're coming here and they're like, no.
That's true. Although it's like we've been wearing sandals a lot. But wouldn't that make your feet tougher?
No, we've been like living all cushy in a house for 6 months on the island.
Oh, not only, but I mean, sure. But yeah, they might have a point.
I don't know. But yeah, my big toe, and in between my big toe, like it's getting beat up on both sides, and then also the back of my ankle.
Yeah, you get it in between your toes, which is odd. Like in the, not like where the 2 toes rub, but in the bottom of the inside of the 2 toes. That's weird.
And like, I think normally when I hike a little bit lower mileage, I take more breaks maybe and switch socks. But it's like on a through hike, you're trying to like get mileage, not take too many breaks.
Yeah, that's something I didn't do today, was take my shoes off every chance I could. And given that it was the longest miles, it's one of the reasons I got a lot of blisters too. And we had to do like a river crossing, took our shoes off, and I kind of put my socks back on with my feet wet, which is better than having wet shoes and wet socks, but I'm sure that also didn't help.
So I guess maybe we should like rewind a little bit. We're just like complaining about how we feel, but I think so this morning we woke up at Evolution Lake, which
Beautiful.
Was a beautiful area. I wish we could have like taken a 0 day and just spent it there.
Yeah, I think we were tired last night, and it was, I'm sure we mentioned that it was beautiful coming in, but walking a little bit further down the lake was also amazing in the morning. There's all sorts of animals.
Oh yeah, those cute little like mouse thingies. I don't know what they're really called.
I don't know what they're called. They look like
they're
a
adorable.
chinchilla mouse.
They were like carrying flowers in their mouth and running around.
They were. It was like a Disney
adorable.
movie.
Yeah.
And we saw a bunch of deer with cool antlers, and they were out there in the meadows feasting.
They always remind me of Lincoln.
Yeah, they look like giant Lincolns. They have the same body shape and ears.
But actually, the first like half of the day, I felt like we were making really good time. I was like, wow, we're going fast. Today's good. Like, we did 7 miles, and I felt like, oh, the next 7 miles are going to go by so fast. But I felt like...
Right, the first 8 felt
the
pretty fast, yeah.
The last, like... Well, I would say, like, the last 4 felt just, like, forever.
It felt like forever. And also, right before the far... or so, right after the second half, there was like the steepest part downhill.
Yeah.
So our feet got pretty banged up. But in no way am I complaining, because I would rather do that than go up, and because we got plenty of that tomorrow.
And it was hot today.
Yeah, it was hot. We dropped so much elevation that we definitely felt the temp difference.
We're at like 7,000 something feet tonight.
Yeah, like last night we were making dinner with beanie, jackets fully zipped up.
We're probably at 10,000 something.
I mean, here I was like, I even had my shirt off for a while.
Yeah.
And shorts. So it's very nice that night.
Michael finally got to fish today. A little bit.
Yeah. So today was, going back to why it was one of my favorite days was...
It's his favorite day because he got to fish.
Well,
plain and simple.
It had to do with that, but also where I got to fish. We basically spent most of the day walking next to cool streams, and the Sierras have these just like mystical streams that just like with these pools, and they're super clear. You can see them all the way down to the bottom. I don't know. And to me, it's like they're like fishing oases, because you don't quite see all the fish. The water's kind of being disturbed a little too much. It's kind of a little bit more of a mystery, a little bit more of a, it feels like a little bit more of adventure fishing, and you got to be careful with all the trees around and all that stuff when you cast. It's just fun, but really that's just like the environment, the ambiance of those, streams in the shade. We got to dip our feet in, which was like therapeutic as hell, right?
Yeah, it was.
It was awesome. So even though it was warm, we got to spend a lot of time in the shade and the trees and amongst the cool cascades. There was even some waterfalls. There was like
there were some
3
really
waterfalls,
cool canyons too, and like epic water carving out the canyons, like sections,
which is super clear water.
It's one of my favorites. We had some of that at the beginning of remember that really cool campsite? I can't remember. It was like the first part of our trip.
Yeah.
That was like in a canyon as well.
Oh, and the last year. Yeah, again, those were my favorite campsites, and I think we both agreed with that. The lakes are amazing. They're beautiful, and that's where you really get the sense of scale for the mountains that you're in. But as far as like feeling more cozy and like, oh, this is, we're like in our little house in our tent, like cooking and fishing, and I like the streams and the amongst the trees.
Those are nice.
If that makes any sense. I'm thinking like Hobbit.
Yeah, like last year I felt like we always had so much time at our camps. Like we would get to camp and we'd like make dinner and we'd hang out by the stream. We would like do laundry, and then we could go to bed and read. I don't know, it felt like we had so much time, but like this time, I don't know, I should have planned like one extra day or done the resupply at MTR. I think it just would have been slightly less like type 2 fun.
Yeah.
Because right now I'm borderline like, ugh,
I agree with that, yeah.
I'm tired.
Especially to enjoy it.
Tomorrow's a big day,
but I don't
and
mind.
The next day's a big day, and the next day's a big day. We don't have any like non-big days coming up.
I don't mind the challenge though. So even though there's a lot I could complain about, I definitely, like, I'm not upset that you didn't do that.
I am. I wish I would have done that for me.
Because it's funny, because
I would have enjoyed it a little bit more.
Last year, where we were doing less mileage and we were getting at camp at a decent time, and we had all this time to fish and to hang out and to like we were setting up clothing lines to wash our clothes and dry them, and
it was so great.
And it is great. But I was like, we come across all these people doing the JMT in 12 days, and I was, I'm like,
that doesn't I could do that. Fun to me.
And we're not doing that at all. But I at least feel, a little challenged. So I like the idea of both.
I think my MO though for the JMT has just been to more enjoy it.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think that like when you add on anything above, I'll be honest, like in the Sierra, anything above 10 miles, you start losing that like fun factor, and it becomes like
a slog.
Yeah, kind of a slog, because it's just so much elevation gain, and it's so rocky and sandy.
And I do remember the parts that like were really enjoyable, and we really liked to fish, and I was talking about how, man, it would have been nice to spend 2 days here, like Ray's Lake, stuff like that. Just because it was so amazing that it felt wrong to just go past it. So, even though I was like, oh, I'm up for the challenge of doing more miles and all that stuff, it really is like we're not doing it anywhere near 12 days, obviously, the whole thing in 12 days. And we're also not getting to enjoy our campground. So it's like, I'd rather just do that, enjoy our campground, or maybe spend an extra day here or there. So you're right. It would be ideal, given how we're doing this. But I don't know. I still feel accomplished by the end of the day. So that's good. I always loved laying in the tent, feeling wrecked and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. You said you're gonna have to redo our plan for after we resupply, right?
Well, yeah.
Because the second half.
I was looking at my plan for the 5-day, and I gave ourselves like a really chill last day because I was like, oh, that'll be really chill to have a chill last day. But then I'm like looking at our days before that, and I have like a 16-mile day, and after doing a 16-mile day today, I'm like, I don't want to do another 16
but it's like
mile.
a 16-mile day with like elevation gain, right?
No,
wasn't it?
No, it was like all downhill, but
Oh, is it? Okay.
yeah. But it's like, I don't know. I'm just gonna use the 5 days and split them up more evenly, I think.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, because also our last day is, as you have it right now, it's literally just 6 miles, which sounds great and all for the last day, but yeah, it's like I'd rather just even out the rest of the days because it's a little uneven.
It's more enjoyable.
Yeah.
But I just have to look at the map and rethink about it.
But
anyways, I mean, all complaining aside, I think this is just one of those moments where, we have a certain amount of food, so we have to do it in a certain amount of days, and it is what it is. So trying to enjoy the bits that we can enjoy, and then the other bits are a slog, and we just kind of are expecting it.
Yeah, it gives me even more respect for the people that do it in such a short amount of time. But it's
respect or insanity.
Well, here's the thing. That whole thing, like,
I think it just depends on your MO.
It sounds cool, but if you're, and look, we've talked about this, some people don't have, a month to take to do the GMT. Completely understand. So yes, if all you can do it is in 12 days and you like the idea of that, by all means.
But I would just do it, if you only had a certain amount of vacation off, just take like 2 years and do sections.
Right, but that's what I was going to say. It's like, if you're doing it because it's like what the cool kids are doing and all that stuff, and you've never seen the majority of the backcountry that is,
I just don't even feel like
Sierra
you're going to
Nevadas,
enjoy it if you're doing 20-mile days.
That's what I'm saying. Is don't take the route of, I want to say I did in 12 days, even though I haven't seen any of this stuff back here, because you're going to miss out big time.
You're just going to be in pain.
It is so much amazingness to take in.
It is.
That if you're going to spend it with your head down in absolute pain and misery, like, just don't do it, because that's what people are, because it does seem like it has become a thing. I
mean, unless you're like trying to challenge yourself physically in that way, then that's like one thing. But if you're like trying to see the JMT,
right? And now that I've done it once we're done, or we complete this, and I've done it one time, like, yeah, I'll consider. I can see myself considering doing something like that, even though it's not at the top of my list. I haven't, really been talking about it.
You're gonna do that one solo.
But that's the only time I would consider it. It's like, I have seen what beautiful country is out there, and
so for me,
I've gotten to enjoy it. So now I want the challenge aspect of it. Okay, cool.
For me, I feel like even what we've been doing has felt like part slog. And so I already know that I'm going to have to come back to like the evolution basin and just like enjoy it, because I didn't feel like I got to enjoy it properly.
Yeah. And that really will probably come back and do more joyful trips before I even consider doing something like it, the JMT, in however many days. But yeah, it still blows my mind, and it's exciting because you hadn't really done this section, and yeah, it's saddens me because, yeah, you're like, by a certain time of the day, you're kind of like checked out a little bit and stuff, which is understandable. Like today, one of my favorite parts that we walked by was all of a sudden, like, there was redwoods everywhere and bristlecone, which are one of the oldest living organisms in the world. And it was amazing. And the colors were amazing. I don't know how, but it's like August still, and the colors are starting to change a little bit in some of the trees. So between the colors and those two trees filling the landscape, it was pretty cool. So, so we were looking for a rock today.
Oh, we saw the John Muir rock. We actually will need to look it up when we get back.
Right.
There was like a carving and it said Muir Trail 1917. But we weren't sure if that meant like John Muir carved it on that rock or who carved the rock.
And if it actually was.
And I don't want to like say something that's not true.
But we were originally thinking it was the rock monster, which apparently it's another rock formation that looks like a monster. But I saw it on the map at one point, but I don't know where it is.
Passed it.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Don't worry, we still have 4 more days of just brutality, so.
Well, until we resupply. But yeah, I think we've rambled enough about and complained enough.
Yeah. Hopefully, like, things will start taking a turn. Maybe our bodies will just, like, adapt tomorrow.
Yeah, and also
we'll feel super strong and be like, yeah, I'll crush 13 miles for breakfast.
Hopefully. But I do feel our packs getting lighter.
Well, that's true, because it is.
So that's nice.
That's a real statement.
I'm enjoying that.
Well, anyways, tomorrow we have, like, apparently 12.7 miles, another 3,600 feet of gain. Would say I'm looking forward to it, but I just don't know.
Maybe after we sleep.
Yeah, maybe after we sleep.
We need some sleep.
Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Hey, I wanted to thank you real quick for tuning into the show and listening all the way to the end. If you love this episode and you want deeper support in becoming a safe, confident, and self-sufficient hiker and backpacker, then head over to shedreamsofalpine.com/waitlist to learn more about our Backpacking Badass coaching program, where I teach you absolutely everything you need to know to be self-reliant on the trails and stop waiting around on others for the adventure invite. So I'd love to help you more in your journey of stepping into your adventurous identity, and that program is the absolute best place for us to start working together. So again, that's shedreamsofalpine.com/waitlist, and you can learn all about it there. So that's it for today, folks. I hope you get to spend some time outside this week, and I'll be back very soon with a brand new episode. Bye.